guys. Hopefully I'm live. I'm a few seconds early, a few minutes early, and I'm just gonna wait to see if anybody pops in here. I think somebody did. Hello, hello. So I think it's okay. I think the lighting is okay. I think that we are good. Hey, Diana, thanks for popping in. Debbie, thanks. Okay, good. I'm a few minutes early. Just wanted to give you guys a few minutes to be able to pop in here, make sure my lighting is okay. And we're gonna get started with a couple things today. I have a package, we're gonna open it. I have some Happy Mail that we are going to take a look at. And then I'm gonna make a card for you guys today. So let's dive in and start with this because I'm excited about this. And I know what this is. Let's see, we'll cut it. This is a beautiful Monday for us. The weather is phenomenal. Hey, Colleen. Hey, Bobby. Lots of you guys are popping in. Happy Monday, you guys. Okay. Ta-da! Are you so excited? Okay, I want to chat about this stuff for a couple reasons. Let's take a look at this stuff right here before we look at the other things. Okay, so I'm having a huge problem with black cardstock. Hi, Ashley. This is our, let me show you guys. So this is Stampin' Up! Black cardstock. I like our black cardstock. I like how dark it is, like how deep the black is. But it is 100-pound weight, so it's a little bit thinner, I feel like, maybe than other stuff I could have. And then I'm having a huge problem embossing on it. So like doing white embossing powder, like when you do embossing powder and then you heat set it. Hey, Chris. I'm having a huge problem with it. So what I've done is I decided if I'm having a problem with something craft related, then maybe you are too, right? So maybe we could all be experiencing the same problem. And if we don't talk about it, the problem doesn't get fixed, right? So what I've done is, I was looking for my other, I don't know where I put it now. That's not good. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so what I've done, this is our Stampin' Up! One. What I've done is I purchased some Lawn Fawn Black Licorice cardstock. This is Gina K Black cardstock. I'm going to open both of these. So this is Gina K. I still feel like our black is blacker, right? Hey, Mom. So, but it's thicker. Gina K is thicker. And then I purchased some Simon Says black cardstock. So what I'm going to do in the next couple weeks is I am going to do a blog post review of these 4 different black cardstocks. Hey, Mary. Oh, hey, Megan. Not Mary. Hey, Megan. I'm going to do our Stampin' Up! And the Simon Says are really close. So I'm going to do a review on all of these. I'm going to stick this maybe back in here because they don't have a little insert. They just have this sticker. So I'll do an entire review of all the different black cardstocks and what my thought is and which black cardstock I feel like is the best. So I just really feel like it's important for me to share with you guys when I'm struggling with something. As much as I love Stampin' Up! Product, sometimes there's certain things that they don't do well. They do most things well. I love their product. That's why I sell their product. It's why I purchase their product. It's a great price point. For instance, this is 10 sheets of Gina K cardstock. This was $4.99 for 10 sheets. Stampin' Up, you get 24 sheets in a pack, and I believe it's $8.50. So you're getting a little bit more for your money. So I like to figure all those things out and see what's working best. And then I want to just share an honest opinion with you guys. So that's why I've been buying black cardstock. And I'll have a blog post up for you guys and we'll compare all of it and we'll chat about it. And yeah, like the way that the Stampin' Up! Cardstock cuts is amazing. That's one of the very first things that I ever did with Stampin' Up! Cardstock is I used it in my Cricut. And, sorry guys. And that's one of the things that I really loved about it. Not only did I love that you could get cardstock and an ink pad and a marker and ribbon all the same color because I am a matchy kind of person. I loved that aspect, but then when I used the Stampin' Up! Cardstock in my die cut machines, it was amazing. So I don't do so much with my die cut machines anymore, but when I do love the way it cuts. So this is going to be coming up. We're going to do some comparing of some black cardstocks, and we're going to compare the color, the weight, and then also how they work with embossing powder. So hopefully that is something that is interesting to you guys and you will be excited to see that. So the next thing I got is, you guys, I'm going crazy. Look, I knew this is why I avoided this. I avoided it for so many years. The Nuvo Crystal Drops. So we started out and I was like, right, I just need a white, a clear, and a black. That's really all I need. Like, that'll be perfect. So I got these. I loved them. And I was like, well, pale gold. Like, everybody needs a gold, right? And then look what happened. I went down the rabbit hole. So I have these colors. And I'll show you which colors I got. This one's pretty. Hopefully I did not get any duplicate colors. I got mine on SimonSays.com. They are pretty much the same price, pretty much everywhere, about $2.99. But sort of like Stickles, this may be a duplicate. Is this a duplicate? No, it's not. If you're familiar with Stickles, when you get Stickles, you purchase it, and then I've never had to replace a Stickles bottle ever. Like, well, I might have to soon because my daughter is in here constantly using my glitter glue. But these last a long time, so I'm fine with it. So I got some yellows. Is this a duplicate? No, this is a glitter. You can see I really love the aquas, right? Megan says, you know where duplicates go, right? Is that a hint, Megan? Is that a hint if there are duplicates here? So then there's this one. And this one you would think was a duplicate, but I promise it's not. It's a gray. And then a couple more. So what I'm going to do later, I'm not going to do it while we're here live because I want to make a card with you guys, is I am going to, oh, this is a translucent. It has a little bit of a tint. This one's, oh, this is a jewel drop. Okay, so there's jewel, okay, so this is different. See, I don't even know what I'm doing. So there's glitter. Then there's crystal, which is what this chart is. So this is the glitter and crystal, but then there's jewel. Like, is this different? Somebody tell me. Somebody help a girl out here. Okay, so I guess this maybe is different, and this isn't going to be on my chart. And I'm kind of disappointed. This is the only chart I could find, so I thought these were the only colors out there, but clearly that's not the truth. Okay, so that was my fun little package, my little mail package. I have a couple other things coming that I wanted to try out that'll be here next week, and I'll share with you guys. And then I have a Stampin' Up! Order that's coming tomorrow, and I'll share that with you guys on Wednesday, on our live on Wednesday. So let's make something. So in the description of this video, if you are on a mobile device, you can just tap the screen and all of the information will come up of what I'm using, the supplies I'm using. There will be a PDF that will come out after I'm done doing this, because I need to take a photo of our project and add it to the PDF, and then I will get that up for you guys. Okay, so you just tap on the screen and all that information is going to come up. There is going to be a link for you to purchase the starter kit, which is the very best, most fantastic deal. You spend $99 and you're going to get $125 in product. You pick it out. So it's not anything that you know, it's not products that you have to get. It's whatever you want to pick out. So you get $25 for free, basically, and then that starter kit is going to ship to you for free. So you save on shipping, which is phenomenal. And then you'll have a discount. You get to join our stamping community. Megan's a part of that. Chris is a part of that. So if you're interested, there's a link for that. And then really quickly, I want to mention that there is a flash sale for Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is a crafty kit that you get every single month. You can get that for $5 from the 8th to the 10th. There's a little flash sale happening. There's a link for that as well. If you're on a computer and you're watching, that's just going to be up above in the description. So if you have any questions about that, let me know, and then I will link the PDF as soon as we're done here. Let me catch up on comments here. Ashley said, I absolutely love my Nuvo drops. I am quickly falling in love with them, Ashley, quickly. Clearly, I'm going down the rabbit hole. I needed to order 1,000 of them. Kathy says, I have gold, silver, copper, and red I pulled out last week after you talked about them. Oh, good, Kathy. They're fun. Sometimes, do you guys ever get where you want to just try something new? Like, you know, I get a lot of stamps and designer paper, and I'm doing basically the same things. And then every once in a while, I'm like, I want to try something new. Like, I want to shake it up a little bit. And maybe I want to do some embossing, or you know, maybe I want to get out more ribbon and try more ribbon, or sometimes I just get bored with like doing the same things. So sometimes it's fun to get a new product and try it out. I really loved these. And then I have 2 things coming next week that are a little bit somewhat new that I'm going to try out, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to change a few things up here on what I had planned today, but that's okay. So we're going to use the Mini Blessings stamp set. And this is a $1 million stamp set design. So with Stampin' Up, when you hit $1 million in career sales, one of the really cool things you get to do is you get to help design a stamp set. So I'm not sure who this was designed by. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's in the catalog. When you see the symbol in the catalog, it will say who helped design that. And I just have this thing where I just want to have all of them, like as a little collector's situation where I've collected all the $1 million stamp sets. And then I also love this. It's a cute stamp set. So we're going to be using this. And I think maybe this. I'm not sure yet. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to use Mini Blessings. We're going to start with a piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is a card base. It's an A2 size card. Hey, Tammy. And I've just taken an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and I have cut that in half. And then I've scored it in half again to give me this size card. So this is an A2 size card. It's 5.5 by 4.25. Okay. So I was originally going to use, we might have to do some die cutting too. I was originally going to use some basic black pieces, but I think I'm going to change that up now. And instead, I think I'm going to use crumb cake. And maybe we'll just decide as we go. You guys can help me decide once I get to that place. So I need to trim this down, and I want this to cover the whole card base. So we're going to cut at 4.25, and then we're going to cut at 5.5. And then I also felt like I maybe wanted to use some of this designer paper, but now I'm feeling like using the crumb cake. I'm feeling like maybe The only piece that might work is this piece. So we're just gonna wing it. So let's trim this down to 4 inches. And then we'll trim it to 5. No, 5 1/4. Ooh, that was a save. I almost messed that up. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking, people. This is what I'm thinking. So we have that layer. Now I took a piece of Whisper White and I had this trimmed at 4 by 5 1/4, but I'm gonna have to take another 1/4 inch off because I added another layer. So by 5. So let me go over my layers with you guys really quick. We have the card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we have that, we're setting that aside. Then I have a piece of crumb cake, and this is gonna cover this whole front of this card. So it's the same size. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then I have a piece of designer paper, and that's from the Country Lane designer paper. I've taken a 1/4 inch off. So it's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have this piece, which I ran through my Big Shot with that embossing folder, that Settles embossing folder. And this is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. Yeah. So these dimensions are all going to be on the PDF as soon as I get done here. So this is how this is going to work. Okay. So the next thing I did is I used this embossing folder. Isn't this pretty? And it's at an angle, so you can see I didn't line it up perfectly. This is a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock, and it is at 2 inches by 4 1/4. So this is going to go all the way across. So now, because I changed my mind, I need a square piece of crumb cake. So we have to bring my Big Shot over. Okay. So we're just going to use the square stitched frames here. And I have 2 sets. So you can see here that I have 2 that are the same size. That's because I use these dies so much that it's just necessary for me to have 2. I use a lot of these for card classes and different projects. So I just ended up purchasing a second set, so I have that on hand. So we're gonna use the stitched square and we're gonna run this right through the Big Shot. When you're using your Big Shot, if you're not familiar, what I do is I use my magnetic platform first, then I use a clear plate, and it's okay that it looks like this. It's supposed to look like that. Your dies will cut into that plate. Then I'm taking crumb cake cardstock, I'm laying my die down flat, and then putting another clear plate on top, and then we just roll it through. And I roll it through once, and then I go back again. And then the way I store my Big Shot when I'm not using it is the plates inside, and then I roll it through and leave it just like this, and that helps my plates to stay flat and they don't warp as bad. So then you just pop this out here. Okay, then you can see it has that stitching. So that's what we're going to work with next, is we have a crumb cake stitched square, and then we have a Whisper White stitched square. Okay, so what I want to do on this piece here, let's start gluing some stuff down. So we're going to use snail on here. And we're just gonna stick these in the middle. Just like that. Hey, Julie. And then this piece is going to go here, but remember this piece is going to stretch all the way across. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to do this flat. I kind of changed up what I wanted to do to begin with. So we're kind of winging it a tiny, tiny bit. Okay, so now this piece is going to stretch all the way across, right? But let's do a little something to this. I feel like I want a little bit of ink on this. So what I'm going to do is just grab a sponge dauber. And then my Bermuda Bay ink. Bermuda Bay is my favorite color Stampin' Up! Has. And then you just dip this sponge dauber right in your ink. And we're going to ink the edges. So this is a tone on tone effect. So it's just going to make that design and these edges pop. And I'm doing a lot of ink. I just really want to darken this up. So you can see I'm just adding that to the edges. And then what I want to do is just add very lightly. I'm just running this over the design and it's going to make that pop. Do you see all of that embossed design? And then let's close our Bermuda Bay. Okay, so let's bring this layer back over. So I want to show you guys my thought process since I changed things up from originally what I was going to do. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to have this piece, then I'm going to layer these two pieces and do my stamping. And then these two pieces are going to layer here, and then I want a bow here. So what I want to do is I want to use some linen thread. And I'm just going to wrap this around several times. I like to do about 3 times, 3 or 4 times. And then what I'm going to do is I tuck the longer piece under all of the ribbon or the twine that I'm working with because that's going to pinch it together. So I just took this end right here, this edge, and I wrapped it all the way around. So now you can see that that's underneath. I don't always change it up. Sometimes I have a plan and I stick to it. But this time, I didn't really think, the problem was I didn't think the black cardstock layers went very well with the linen thread. And I really wanted this really thin. I didn't do this tight enough, guys. Sorry. I didn't really think the linen thread went with the layers. So that's kind of what originally made me think, well, maybe I could do something different. Like, what could I change it up with? Okay, so that's better. So then you just tighten your bow. Like this. And it needs to go on this side. So the bottom part of the bow, just tuck that under. So this part is probably boring. I would trim this out of my video. I would edit this out under normal circumstances, but we're live. So we all get to do the boring part together. Okay. So now this is going to be able to, I'm going to be able to move this around, maybe, like this. Megan says, you know, I can never stick to the plan. Yeah, it happens. So I'm just running adhesive right over this linen thread. And then we're going to put this down here. And I'm not really going in the middle, I don't think. I think it's probably a little lower than the middle. Okay. Okay, so there's that part. So now let's do our stamping. So what I want to do is I want to take my stamp set. This is a photopolymer stamp set, which is my favorite kind of stamp set. Why? Because you can see through it. Doesn't it make it easier? You could totally use this one, this image as well, if you wanted. So the problem is going to be now I don't have a place to put my sentiment like originally I had. So I'm going to have to figure that out. So I need a clear block. And then I need Memento black ink. And I can already tell, I'm already feeling, I'm having this moment, you guys, where I'm feeling like, oh my God, I got to color this now. And it's a small image and like, what am I going to do? I'm going to stick this up a little bit higher and then maybe I can get in a sentiment on the bottom of this, which I probably can. Well, you know what I should have done? We're going to have to re-stamp this. I'm going to have to cut this again. Because I could do mini blessing, or I could do blessings. Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to do it. I'm cutting this stamp. Look away if you can't stand the thought of this, but we're cutting this stamp. So I just want blessings. Okay. Did that work? Pretty good. And then I'll just trim this little piece up here because that'll be fine. Okay. What if we just put blessings here? What do you think? What do you think? Okay. So let's do crushed curry because I think that I'm going to use that to color some of this. Okay. So I don't know how straight this is going to be because I can't get directly over it. I mean, it's not perfect, you guys. It's not perfect, but this is not Hallmark either. So, okay. So let's do a little bit of coloring. And I think maybe let's just use the alcohol markers, the blends. I think maybe that's what I'll have. I don't know if I'm going to have an easy time with this or not. So I have some yellows up here. See, that's an orange. But that certainly looks yellow to me, doesn't it? I don't know, you guys. I have this problem every time. Okay, well, we're going to go with the Mango Melody, even though I feel like that's supposed to be orangish and not yellowish, but what do I know? And then Daffodil Delight. Megan, I say that all the time. That's funny. She said she needed to use that. That'll be copyright issues for you, lady. Just kidding. I always say that. I probably heard it somewhere else because I'm not that clever, honestly. I probably stole it from someone else. So go ahead, steal it from me. But I always say that. It's not, this isn't Hallmark, right? Just like I always say, like, this isn't Burger King to my kids. You're not getting it your way. You get what and we always say, the other thing we always say in this house is you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Okay, so I feel like I'm going to have a problem with this stuff because it's so tiny. But we're just going to try to go with it, and hopefully we're not going to have a lot of bleeding. So typically, I really don't like to use alcohol markers on images that are super tiny. Which, if any of you guys are familiar with Lawn Fawn, so I love Lawn Fawn. I love all their images. But their images are so freaking tiny. Like, first of all, I can't see the image half the time. I'm like, I can't see this. And second, how do you color something that tiny? Yep, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And we did get that from our kindergarten teacher that Violet and Kayla both have had. Or Violet and Andrew have both had, Miss Miller, and she always says that. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. So I'm just adding, I don't even know what I'm doing, you guys, quite honestly. I'm talking, which, hey Reba, which is never good when I'm trying to color because I don't know, then it doesn't come out good. So I'm just blending this now. It doesn't even look like I added any like different colors. It just looks like Bermuda Bay. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so now let's use some of this yellow, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the dark on this one because it's so tiny. So I feel like I'm gonna start with the dark. It might be hard to see, but let's work together to get through this coloring. Okay, so I'm starting and I'm putting the dark closer to the center of these sunflowers. Isn't that awesome when I start talking so super slow because I can't figure out what I'm doing? And like, look at this. How are we going to even add color to this? I mean, I guess we're just going to do these tiny little dots. Okay. So alcohol markers are going to bleed. You're going to see the back of this in a minute, and you're going to see that they bleed. But the thing with alcohol markers is the more layers you add, the more depth of color you get. Which is fun, right? But you have to be careful that it doesn't bleed outside the lines because the paper is going to soak up that color. Like it's going to come in and it's going to start just soaking it up like a sponge. And so when you get really close to the edge, which is what I'm very nervous about right now, it's going to suck that color right out and it's going to bleed. Nobody wants bleeding to happen. Okay, so I think, do I dare say I think this is okay? Do I dare say that? I don't think I got bleeding happening. I see leaves though. Let me make sure I am. Okay, let me see. Megan says she refuses to color live. That's funny. More power to ya. I'm trying. I know, it's nerve-wracking when you're live. I feel like if I mess this up and I'm just filming, I'll just edit it out. But, you know, when you're live, it is what it is. And I don't know, who likes to watch coloring? So I know there's people that like it. I always fast forward through videos where people are coloring. I'm like, I don't got time for this. I just need to see the end of the project. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So I wonder if you like watching it. Do you like watching it live or not? Okay, we need a little bit of green. So I think I'm just going to use Old Olive as the green. I think that maybe that's probably going to be the best color to go with the colors I have. This, and I ended up just using Daffodil Delight. I didn't use the Mango Melody color. And then I'm just adding green in here. I'm not even going to do any blending. Maybe for this, I might say like watercoloring or using maybe colored pencils would be maybe a better choice. Let me see. If you have the problem that I have, which is you can't color. I don't think it bled too much, you guys. I think that that is good. And then I just used soft suede for the middles, which I thought would be less dark than like early espresso or something, but I don't know. It turned out kind of dark. Oh yeah, that's what I do too, Ray. Ray, you do it when I'm watching something, or like I'll watch it when I'm doing computer work. If I'm like dealing with like spreadsheets or updating information or sending emails or something, I'll pop some on. So you can see that it bled through your paper here. And then what I'm doing is I'm just using pop dots and I'm going to pop this piece up. And I'll let you guys see up close. I think it ended up doing pretty well with the bleeding. The other thing you can do is you can heat emboss it. Like I could have done my lines in black heat embossing, and that kind of helps. And then I feel like I already added adhesive to this, so we're gonna have to do this. But I feel like I missed this piece. Whoops. I'll have to clean that up. Okay, so then we'll put this here. And of course, you guys, I have to add glitter. Come on. Come on. So I'm using Wink Stella and I'm just adding glitter to this part. You got to be careful. Your Wink Stella will reactivate that ink and it will spread it around. I feel like maybe I need a new Wink Stella. Megan is being a mommy while she watches. And I do that too. On Friday night, I always snuggle with Andrew. Like we have snuggle night and we watch, recently we've been watching Last Man Standing. All three of my kids, we've been watching the new season of Last Man Standing, and then I'll watch a movie with Andrew. He gets to pick it and we just spend time together and snuggle. And, we were all done watching the movie and he was going to sleep, and then I was still laying there and I started watching card making videos. I started watching Christina Warner, and he was watching and he was laughing, and then he said to me today, he always asks me, "Is that you?" because he knows I do videos. So he'll say, "Is that you?" And I'll say, "No, that's my friend Christina," or like Christina Warner is my friend. Or I'll say, "No, that's my friend Megan," because we watch some of Megan's videos. Megan really is my friend. Or I'll say, "No, it's Jennifer McGuire, my friend Jennifer McGuire." And so he was funny because he said this morning, "I just loved watching those card videos with you." And I was laughing at him. So then this is the card front, basically. I've done the whole card. And then I'm just going to attach it to this Whisper White card base. I have a bunch of these card bases already made up. These were for some kits that I had going that I ended up not putting together. So I pulled all these bases out and I'm trying to get them used up because I don't necessarily like my cards to open up this way. I really like them to open up this way, long ways. But I'm trying to get these all used up. So that's why I've been doing more cards like this. And then the other thing that I have that sits in front of me is I took one of our old Project Life boxes, so you can see this, and I just cut off this, like the end here, and then I covered it in this paper. This is designer paper from many years ago, and my whole craft room is done in this paper. I purchased a bunch of it, and I cover stuff with it, and then what I have here is I have a bunch of Whisper White cardstock that I've trimmed down. So I've just cut it in half and then I cut it in half again. And this sits right in front of me. And here's some little pieces that just get trimmed down. And then I have one of my bookmark pieces in here for all of our new colors. and I keep that. Kayla uses this all of the time. She'll look through and get colors. And then this is just to help me remember what order these are supposed to be in, because I keep them in this order in front of me. And so I just have this whole thing sitting just like this. And it sits right in front of me, and then I can grab pieces to color on, or like if I just need a white, little tiny white square, I can grab that. And then that way I don't have to cut up a full sheet of Whisper White cardstock. So this is how the card ended up turning out. I think that it looks much better than if I would have done this with black. So this piece here would have been black, and then this layer would have been black. And I think it turned out much better. I think that was a good decision to change up that color. So here is our card for today. And then I'm going to clean all my stamps and put those away, and then put all of my new Nuvo drops. I mean, is there a way, like, could we use some Nuvo drops on here? Like, is there a way? Do I have something close enough to Bermuda Bay? Like, is this close enough to Bermuda Bay? What color is this? This is Caribbean Ocean. Do you think that's, I think that's probably not close enough. Or yellow. I don't think this is dark enough. Oh, maybe. Do you guys think? So Megan says, heck yeah. Megan would, like, it doesn't matter what I say. I could be like, let's go jump off a bridge. And Megan's always up for anything. Heck yeah, let's do it. Okay, so do you think this yellow's okay? I've been sitting in the parking lot of Target watching. I should go in and get my shopping done. Oh my gosh, Tammy, that's funny. Okay, I'm going to do this. Ooh, I don't know. Are you guys ready? Let's just do it. I mean, I just think, why not? Life is too short. It's just paper. I think it's probably too bright. I think these are probably too bright, but I needed more like of a mustard color. Or maybe like a brown would have been good. Yeah, maybe I ruined my card just now. Maybe that just happened. Maybe that wasn't a good thing to do. They're not. So they're not really any different than, okay, so Chris says, I wonder if when they dry, if you could, oh, yeah, that's what I'll do, Chris. Good call. Oh, and Megan said they like the exact same thing. You guys said it at the exact same time. I think maybe I will, just to darken it up, because it's pretty bright. So it is a little bit of a different, so let me show you guys. So Megan just asked, are they really that different from Stickles? So here's Stickles. I've had these for many, many years. And the thing with Stickles is it's a glitter type glue, okay? So when I used to use this a ton was during Christmas. Like, see, this is, oh, that's burgundy. I don't even think I have any Christmas green left. Let me just show you guys, okay? So the nice thing about these, do you guys have time? You want to hang out for a few more minutes? My husband's home. My husband was amazing this morning, and he went and did grocery shopping for me because I'm stressed out with a bunch of stuff that's happening. Not stressed out, but there's just a lot going on today. I have the kids' I have Violet's IEP today and her teacher conference thing. And so I was like, oh my God, I can't go grocery shopping. I can't run these errands. And so he went and did it for me. Okay, so if we color this pumpkin, so this is what Stickles does. It is a glitter type glue. So it's somewhat transparent-ish. So when you put this on here, so here's orange. Oh, I might even have to like poke this because I think it's been that long since I've used these. I'm surprised with Kayla being in here constantly. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's, oh man, I need like a needle or something. Dang, the bad luck is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to make this a lot bigger. I'm just gonna have to use my thing here from Stampin' Up. That stretched out the, oh, look at that glitter glue. Okay, so then if you just put this over your image here, what's going to happen is it's going to be glittery. It's going to be a little puffed up. And it's going to be glittery. So, but if you use this just like on paper, I mean, I guess you could just, you know, I've never just used it to create dots, but I mean, I guess you could. Okay. So that is, so let me wipe this part off. See, let's grab a piece of scratch paper. Okay. So see how that goes right over your image? And then those are just the dots. But this is going to dry a lot clearer. So I'll save this and I'll show you guys on Wednesday. Okay. So these, I don't have an orange. So this is, so there's glitter drops and then there's crystal drops. And let me show you how they look on a project. So I've used these quite a bit since I started getting them. I'm missing comments, so let me just go back really quick. Yeah, he's a keeper. I'm super glad he did that. He's pretty good to me. Okay, so I think that was just, oh yeah, okay. So I didn't miss anything. So this is how the glitter looks, okay? So then if you look, on Friday, I did this card and I used the pale gold on here to create some little dots. So these are not going to be translucent. And then here's the black ones that I did on this card. This was like when I first got it, I used the black. So they're not the best because I wasn't used to it. And then here's these cards that I did last Wednesday, I think. And I used the white ones on white. I'm going to send these cards to my mom. And then I did the white on the gray. So that's how they end up looking when they're dry. So the thing with these is you can get them pretty, like if you look at this, they're pretty thick on here. So hopefully that kind of explains the difference. I don't think there's necessarily a huge difference other than with stickles. My experience with stickles has always been you want to put it over color. I don't know that these are something you would really put over color. I think these are probably something you use more as an accent. That's kind of how I'm feeling about these. I don't know that I would just like take an orange and then add it over a image. And then you can kind of see even like as that's going to dry, it's going to then be glossy and glittery, but you'll still be able to see the lines of the images. So I use all my cards, Danielle. I use them. So in fact, I don't have enough, honestly. I send them out, obviously, for birthdays and anniversaries, but then I also do that with my, our community of crafters. I send out cards to them on their birthdays and anniversaries, and so there's that's happening. And then I give them to friends and family. I give them when you join, like when you purchase the starter kit, I send you 10 handmade cards in your little welcome packet from me. So I do them that way. And a lot of the times I run out of cards. I don't have enough cards on hand, and I'm constantly like, I need more cards to send out. And then sometimes I get overwhelmed with them depending on if I've done a swap. Sometimes when I go to on stage and I'm swapping 200 cards and I come back with 200 cards, I end up being like, oh, like these are quite a few, but I use them a ton. And then, like I said, these two I'm going to send to my mom. She had been on the live when I did this and she liked them. And so I'll send those to my mom. I don't tend to make very many cards like this, like Halloween type cards. So I'll probably have these around for a little while. And then like these, I'm probably going to send out for Thanksgiving. I'll send around. Yeah. So Megan says, awesomeness. They're more like Viva Decor than, which is awesome. Yeah, I think that that's probably, I never had Viva Decor stuff, but from what I remember of it, it's probably more like this. And then you just let it dry overnight. I'll set this aside and I'll let it dry overnight. Same thing with stickles. I think this is all I have left of my stickles items that I had. I think like I need to get another red one, like a Christmas red. But I think I'm going to start using these again. This is the one that is the most popular. It's the Stardust. You put it over any color and it kind of just picks up that color. So if I put this over, most of the time I use, see, these are all, like they are all, like plugged up because I don't use them a lot. So I used to use these a ton, and then I started using Winka Stella just because it tends, you know, maybe to be easier to use. But like, see, I'll use the Stardust of the stickles right over this Bermuda Bay and it will dry clear, but then it will have this really pretty glittery, glossy finish to it. So I'll let all this dry, and then on Wednesday, you guys, I'll share with you the way they turned out, like the way they dried and turned out. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I'm going to take a photo of this, pop it in the PDF, and then I will get the PDF uploaded for you guys. And then all of the supplies that I used they're in the description, along with the link to purchase the starter kit. So if you want to get some Stampin' Up! Product and you want to get that starter kit, the link is there. If you have any questions, you can let me know, and I'll be back on Wednesday to share another live video with you guys. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you later.